Hey everyone, it's Amy, Dragonspit Apothecary. Thank you for joining me this very first Friday in March to do our Oils and Oracles. I thought we'd start out the month with the Divine Feminine cards. These really strong women. I thought March, its whole Ides of March story kind of seemed appropriate to have some female warriors by our side, right? So, as always, I pulled three cards, one for this weekend, one for next week, and then one from the universe. And if you're new here, welcome. So I hope you enjoy this. Leave me some comments. Tell me how these apply to you. And also just know that all of my oracle readings are aligned with doTERRA essential oils. I only recommend oils that I personally use in my home and my family. So you always get the added benefit of my own experience with these oils as well. Okay, so our first card, and it's for this weekend, is the card of Kali. She's kind of a blue warrior with the necklace with the skulls. So she is the mother of the universe. And the card says, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. So what this card is telling us is don't hesitate to break up and eliminate what we no longer need. Okay. And sometimes we're really guilty, like, oh, it's going to turn around. Oh, it's going to be better. And deep inside, we know, a lot of times, but maybe it's a long-term thing that's been hanging around, or maybe it's just an emotional connection, but it's time to break the ties to that, right? Okay. So the oils that I put with this one, there's three: basil, cilantro, and oregano. Now, those are three very potent oils, right? They're all, you know that aroma as soon as you open these bottles. And the reason why I put those three oils with this card is because they all speak to that detoxification, that cleansing, that letting go. Basil, particularly, is the oil of that we use a lot when we're burned out, right? And we're exhausted and we're overwhelmed and we're stressed out from something, right? So basil kind of helps that renewal process. Cilantro is very detoxifying and it's very aromatic. So it grabs your attention and it's pulling you into the moment and saying, face this now, right? And then oregano too is very strong. We use oregano a lot in my home when we're starting to come down with something. We apply it to the bottom of our feet before bedtime. And again, it's got a very strong aroma, but it's all about cleansing and purifying and preparing the body, for healing. Okay. So I thought those are very strong oils with a very distinct purpose when you think about breaking up and eliminating what you no longer need in your life, whether you think you do or not. Sometimes it's time to let it go. Okay. The card that came up for next week was this Aridine. Okay. And she is the mistress of the labyrinth. And her saying is, my soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. So think about that, weathering the storms, right? We just talked about breaking up things that don't serve us. Well, sometimes you're doing that in the middle of a storm, a life storm, that is. And you can't shortcut those experiences. You have to go through that pain. You have to go through that process and walk out from the other side of it, right? So this card is telling us to act with courage and have grace with ourselves in that moving forward. It is sometimes not very easy at all. And understand that, right? But let it form you, let it shape you, and emerge from it stronger and more graceful than you are right now. So I put three oils with this one too. Vetiver, which is a very grounding oil. It's so wonderful for sleep and rest. And sometimes when you're having those tough challenges in life, it's very calming. You're seeking that consoling type feeling. And obviously sometimes you need to rest in the storm, right? Because you can't take it all in one day. So vetiver is very supportive for those things. The other oil I put with this card too is oregano again, because again, that detoxification, that healing process, feeling like we can shed some of the challenges that we're facing and move forward, right? Oregano is very helpful with that healing process. The other one I put with this is a blend of doTERRA's called Hope. Now, Hope is a very special oil that they designed to work with the Operation Underground Railroad that helps children who are victimized of human trafficking. Okay. And all the proceeds of this oil go to help that organization um, save these children, get them in appropriate care afterwards, and help them heal from that very, very traumatic experience that unfortunately way too many children are enduring. So, Hope is a beautiful oil and a very special oil. And I thought it was very good to align it with this card because it takes courage to come out the other end of some very hard things in our life, right? And to move forward and away from the things that hurt us, and to have the grace in being able to move forward and find what's next. Okay. So I thought that was a very intentional oil to put with this card. Okay, now, third card. This is what we need for this weekend. I'm sorry, from the universe. This is the universe. And it's the card of Endurana. Okay, we've had this card before come up in our readings. She is the high priestess, and her saying is, I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. Now, what this card is saying, and I think it applies really nicely with these other two that have come up, is listen to your dreams and work to bring them into the service, right? You already know in your heart of hearts what's right for you and where you need to go. But sometimes we're just really afraid to take that first step, right? So let them come to the surface. Find the hope of looking forward out of the storm that you're in by looking forward to what's possible from them. Okay. So I put 3 oils with this one as well. The Doterra Ddr Prime. Now, this one also comes in a capsule, but it's an oil form too. And this oil is about cellular regeneration. Okay, so our cells live and die every day. We want them to produce the healthiest versions of cells that possible. DDR Prime is supportive of that process. It's wonderful. And I think when you are rebuilding and you're allowing dreams to come to the surface, this regeneration process is very key to that, right? Not just in our body, but in our emotions. All right, the other oil I put with this is Serenity. This is another doTERRA blend. I call this Lavender's Big Sister because it is a blend of oils that also supports rest, relaxation, and kind of that freedom to dream. Okay, so because you relax and you feel at peace and you can actually take that deep breath and go, okay, let me get back to what's important to me, right? And Serenity is a really nice oil to use that with. Then the third oil I put with this is Spearmint. Now that might seem strange because the first 2 I just talked about were about rebuilding and rest, right? Well, Spearmint is the oil of our voice. And I put this with us for a very good purpose in that sometimes when you're talking about your dreams, one of the things that hold us back is the fear of judgment or fear of confidence in ourselves. Well, spearmint is the oil that allows us to find our words and align with things that are right for us and not being afraid to take that step forward in helping them be achieved. Okay, so it's actually a really important oil when you're talking about bringing your dreams to the surface, because sooner or later you're gonna have to put words around that and make them happen, right? All right, there you go. That's our oils and oracles for this Friday, March 5th. I hope you guys have a wonderful month, and I look forward to sharing the other oils and oracles with you on every Friday and the full moon that's happening this month. Talk to you soon.